And hello and welcome everyone to the Comic Multiverse, where the worlds of nerd meet. Matt, we're back again after a short Star Wars related hiatus. Had to take a week off because I had to go 3 towns over on a pilgrimage to the one IMAX screen to see The Mandalorian and Grogu, and I did, and we'll talk about it.
We will. We'll talk about that a little later on, yeah.
Yeah, of course, Matt and I had to talk about it before we started because it's like, hey, you know, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars.
Yeah, oh yeah.
In case you didn't know, Star Wars, Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
How's your week been, Matt? How you been keeping on?
Yeah, no, I've been pretty good. Like you yesterday, I went and touched grass as well. Quite literally, I went and me and my partner went for a little bit of a hike up a mountain nearby, and went to some rainforest and just had a good old time, and then ended it with a little bit of a date night. We went and saw the back rooms.
Aw. Yes, which I'm hearing great things about that and Obsession.
It was
Great
very
time to
good.
be a horror fan.
Yes, I haven't seen Obsession yet, but Backrooms was fantastic. If you like the YouTube series from Kane Pixels, it's fantastic. I love that he got to direct the film because it just felt like another episode of the Backrooms on his YouTube channel.
And he actually did direct it, despite what the terrified old guard of filmmakers is saying online about any of these movies made by young people. Now, they couldn't possibly have done it.
Yeah.
It feels very The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, isn't it? They did it without $1 billion budget. They did it without CGI and marketing teams. They did it without boxes or bags.
There's a little bit of jealousy in there as well, yeah.
The chat also mentioning I love boosters. Yeah, there's another one from Boots Riley, a dude who made like super cool movies on reasonable budgets, and now it looks like he is on the way to having maybe his biggest hit yet, just by positive word of mouth.
Yeah, well, I actually hadn't heard of this movie until recently, and then I start seeing like behind the scenes stuff of like how they did some effects. I'm like, that's really fucking cool. It's all like practical in camera and everything.
For doing the Bugs Bunny run, I saw the same thing.
Yeah.
Also, Boots Riley is just a wonderful character who, you know, has made really interesting, really out there artsy movies. He did I'm a Virgo, and what was that other one he did with the Patton Oswalt voice, where the joke is that was the white voice everyone was doing. God,
Sorry to Bother You. Yeah,
Sorry to Bother
that
You.
weird third act with weird like centaur people,
Horse people.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, spoilers for that, everyone, but you should check it out because horse people. And also, I love it because that means they have to interview Boots Riley, and he looks like a comic character. He's got a big hat and a shawl, and he's a musician and also a card-carrying communist. So, you know, I love everything about him, of course.
He's a cool dude, yeah.
Yeah, plus we get more Keke Palmer in there, and that's always fun. And people say, man, you know, I think she has a thing going on with the Hot Wings guy from Hot Ones. They're always smiling and laughing together.
They are. I've seen those videos. They
really are.
Chemistry.
They really do, and you know what? As like a kind of, you know, fugly guy myself who one day dreams of, you know, really shooting my shot above my pay grade and above my level, you know, I am, of course, rooting for them 110%. I ship them. They are my one true couple, my one true pairing. Naturally. But, so good time at the movies. I went to the swap meet this week. I was telling Matt before we started, one of the bigger ones. Pretty fun. They did have some pretty interesting comics there. So they had some, you know, loose wrestling figures. I didn't actually pick anything up, but it's fun to go and fun to, you know, to haggle, to get your haggle on every so often. It's a forgotten art.
You haven't been to a car boot sale for a long time. I've gone to like markets and stuff, but I haven't been to one. The last time I went there, I managed to pick up the original Star Wars trilogy on VHS. That was just before the special editions came out too.
That is too funny you should say that. I was in like a Habitat for Humanity the other day there because you can get like cheap building supplies there, and I shit you not, they had the 3 VHS set from Star Wars, and I'm like, I don't have a VHS player, I have no means to play this. I very nearly picked it up because this is Star Wars pre the new extended editions and everything, so like these versions of the films, like if Lucas had his way, he would destroy every copy.
Yeah, no, I had to pick them. I don't care if they cost me $50. I'm like, I'm buying them. I'm keeping them on my shelf. Go keep that physical media safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I said it before and I'll say it again. If I had the time and the space, I would build a proper retro room like people are building now with old-ass CRT TVs and VCRs and everything. That the children long for the VCR, Matt. We long for the day. They can take everything else from us. They can take away home ownership. They can take away health care. They can take away education. But they cannot take away my tapes, Matt.
My Betamax.
Yeah, they can't take that away from me ever. This is how films were meant to be seen. I mean, honestly, honestly, for all the great remasters we get, there's also quite a few where it's like, oh, this looks bad in this new ratio.
Yeah, but also just some really fun popping in a VHS tape and just seeing a movie how it was meant to be seen back in the day. Like some of these films had, like back then, they had no idea that like 4K or anything didn't exist. As you said, there's some where it's like, oh, you bump that up to 4K, oh, you can start to see like wires and like people's hands in the corners of frames.
There's something beautiful about that particular layer of fuzz that existed only on those, right? And the more you watched a tape, the fuzzier it would get.
Yeah, because you're wearing it out. Yeah.
You're wearing out the tape. Yeah, that's the thing. It can actually snap. It can actually break. You gotta watch for mold. I didn't know that tapes could actually get mold in them, but they can.
Yeah. There's a place, I can't remember which website it was. They sell a machine that you can run your tape through. You can buy this machine. It's like a 3D printed machine that you can buy. You run the tape through it, and it'll help like clean it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Huh. It's funny, too, whenever you go to, boot sales or charity shops or anything, they all have the same VHSs. You notice that? It's always the 2-pack of Titanic, a bunch of old, Disney movies in the old clamshells and everything. They're always the same ones.
Yeah, because there was so many of them back in the day.
We literally all just owned the same tapes, and double tapes is insane to me. Where it's there used to be a time when they didn't have enough room on a tape. If you had a long movie, you had to watch it on 2 different tapes.
I think my version of Lord of the Rings on 4K, the extended edition, I think they're across 2 discs because they're just so fucking big.
That's wild. That's crazy to me. Even more so, early seasons of television on VHS. These are very hard to find. I was looking there the other night there. Did you know, I think the first 2 seasons of The Sopranos were actually on VHS?
Oh, shit.
There were 9 tapes, but you could actually get the first season of Sopranos on VHS, and I'm like, whoa, seasons of TV. Because if you loved a show, it would be something like Simpsons or South Park or Beavis and Butthead. You couldn't get a whole season on a tape. They would do a best of compilation or a themed compilation on a tape.
They would do episodes. I remember the X-Files series was 2 or 3 episodes a tape, and I think sometimes they'd also do them out of order too. So episodes would be it'd just be a set of episodes. I know Star Trek Next Generation did that.
And we were happy to get them.
Wherever you could, and they cost $40.
Yeah, it was dope as fuck if you could actually get them. Now we're so spoiled with the ability to stream absolutely everything, and everything fits on a disc. It's so crazy to think where it's that wasn't even that long ago. I was a child and we did that.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're getting old. I'm trying to think, what's the new young person equivalent of that, where it's can you believe we used to do blank? I guess, can you believe that we ever dealt with DVD rips and things that were only 4080?
Yeah, I remember some of my first bootlegs. You get them on the CD, the DVD rewritable. I think I had an Incredibles, and my friend went to, I think he went to Brunei or somewhere in Thailand, and he got a bootleg of Blade.
Nice. I had a bootleg Batman Begins that was clearly shot at the theater up close and everything, but up-resed and chopped very nicely. And I think I watched that one a ton, and only when I watched it again on television, I'm oh, there's whole scenes that were missing that I totally never saw. When he gets drunk and falls in the fountain and everything. I'm oh shit, I never actually saw this. It's I'm watching the movie for the first time.
First time I saw Revenge of the Sith on home media was a bootleg copy that had Iranian subtitles hard-coded into it, and it was clearly filmed from a cinema. So it was great.
And now you can't enjoy that movie without the Iranian subtitles. That's part of the magic. That is your Star Wars. Look, Dave Fillion, if you're listening, please put the Iranian subtitles back in Star Wars. I really need it. I cannot climax without the Iranian subtitles on my Star Wars. Actually, hey, speaking of VHSs, you know who had some great VHSs? The 90s X-Men series. You could get them at Pizza Hut back in the day.
You could, yeah.
Which is so fucking wild to think about. I got to do a video on that weird comic book superhero promotions. That blows me away that you could, like, get the X-Men VHSs at Pizza Hut. I bring this up because one of the big pieces of news this week was, of course, we finally got a trailer for the long-awaited X-Men 97 Season 2, and holy shit, looks like they're doing everything in this season.
It does. It looks like they're going all out with this season. The Apocalypse, Future Apocalypse, new X-Men team.
Polaris.
Grant Morrison X-Men team. Just fucking everything.
Ramatut.
Yeah.
We got a Morph turning into Deadpool. If you wondered, like, man, that last season of X-Men 97 was so good, what are they going to do for an encore? What could they possibly do to top this? They're going to do everything, apparently.
Yeah, I wonder how the show's going to go, because they don't have that guy, that fucking sex pest weirdo.
Bo DeMeo, yeah.
Yeah, the one who's always on Twitter trying to, like, be famous again. Yeah, they don't have him, but it looks like it's like, okay, yeah, so he was really not the driving force behind any of this.
No, which that's never the case.
No,
Again,
no.
Rick and Morty, same deal with, Justin Roiland. Like, oh, the show will suffer without Justin Roiland. Oh, no, it actually got a little better without him, in fact.
Yeah.
Which, oh man, speaking of which, Rick and Morty came back this season. That first episode of season 9, that was just them showing off. They're like, let's make the most expensive, most, choreography forward episode we've ever done. I don't know if you've seen any clips from it. No. Oh, they're just showing off. That's like, we put a shit ton of Cartoon Network's money into this. It's the best the show has ever looked. They are doing crazy camera moves, big explosions, elemental effects, and I'm like, oh wow, you guys were really mad for people saying that you fell off all those years. So they're like, okay, look, let's absolutely go fucking ham on this then. And again, I don't know how many people actually did watch it, because again, I feel like less people are talking about it in general, but if you did watch it, holy shit.
Yeah, I feel like Rick and Morty's just kind of like, people aren't just interested in it, really.
But, I appreciate the consistency, you know what? Because sometimes you can't be the top dog. Sometimes you can't be the center of discussion all the time. But sometimes, consistency. Consistency is king. When other shows have fallen by the wayside, this show continues to be consistent.
Yeah, no, well, if it's doing well, then yeah, cool.
Which I guess it has to be consistent, because didn't they pay Dan Harmon something ridiculous, like $1 billion for 10 seasons in a movie? So, like, I think he has to come back and keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that's in the works, too, a Rick and Morty movie. I'm like, holy shit, what's that going to be like?
Yeah.
Again, I'm sure, like most Rick and Morty things, it's going to be a piss take on the very concept of the thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
You know how much the show hates continuity and loves to point to the fact that it hates continuity? The movie will be about them hating that they are contractually obligated to make a movie. Oh yeah, that's right. And Keith David as President Curtis is getting his own spin-off show as well. Yeah, I'm actually interested in that, because more Keith David is exactly what the world needs. It's going to bring us all together, I believe. Can you believe that man is, like, in his 70s and he's working harder than just about anyone else?
He's still doing it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, more power to him.
Yeah, he's singing, he's dancing, multiple shows. I think he's just about to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I'm like, you mean he didn't have that already?
Yeah, goddamn.
The truth is, stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame are actually kind of a bullshit scam.
You gotta pay
they don't
for
give them to... Yeah, you gotta pay for them. You gotta, like, actually go out there and, like, you promote yourself and do, like, a whole grassroots campaign for them. Yeah. It's basically, they give them to anyone, assuming you work hard enough and give them the money.
Yeah.
But still, it is nice. I would say of all the people who have it, he is actually deserving of the accolade.
Very, very.
Unlike some of the other people. And again, hey, if you're a canceled celebrity like Vince Vaughn, it's always good to get one of those as part of a big comeback campaign.
Yeah.
Just, throwing that one out there. Remember he had that new show? And then I think he's doing some movies, but he's not anymore? God, Vince Vaughn has a weird career, doesn't he?
What show did he have? Because I know he started... I think he's still making movies with the Bone Tomahawk guy, and he's been doing movies with him. Because that guy's like... the guy who wrote that film, that he's like soft right wing or something.
Krager. He's very weird, Krager. He's very hard to like nail down politically, because it's like, yeah, I'll work with Mel Gibson, I'll work with canceled celebrities, and it's like, is that because you believe what they think? Maybe it is, or maybe it's just because I know the good value to get good actors for my movies when they're falling down and true, in trouble, and I'm like,
and all his movies have felt very like what was that one he did with Mel Gibson, the cop one? That felt very right wingy, but also kind of not as well. It was where it's like it's like it celebrated dirty cops just as much as he dragged them, because it's like, isn't it great being a dirty cop, but also let me cast these two miserable fucks and show them being incredibly miserable for the whole movie. And it's like, man, your politics are hard to nail down. I believe lots of things. You'll never catch me. Because even though Bone Tomahawk is a great movie too, it's like, wait, is this demonizing natives, or is it not? Well, actually, the only smart character in the movie is the native who says you're fucking stupid for going into those caves and fighting those monsters. Yeah, and the white savior heroes all get their comeuppance in like really gruesome ways.
All die.
So,
spoiler for this good movie, but they all fucking die in horrible ways for trying to be white saviors. So it's like, what do you believe, movie?
Brawl in Cell Block 99 is about like a horrible career criminal, trying to save his family, but then also getting what he deserves.
Which is why I kind of like Krager, and whenever he comes out with a new movie, I'm like, oh, he's got something new, I'll watch it.
If anything, it's going to be like a visceral, gory, like action mess.
I think he's a comic guy too, actually. I think Word Balloon actually interviewed him. I think he likes comic books, actually.
Oh, no, I mean, that kind of tracks with like how he like does his action and everything.
Very much so. Feels very frenetic, like a comic book.
Yeah.
I kind of like that there's some mystery with him, where he's just like, ooh, I'll never tell what my personal politics are. That's for you, the audience. Oh, yeah, what were we talking about? X-Men. X-Men looks really good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's coming soon.
And it's coming out very soon.
Yeah, July?
Yeah, July.
Yeah,
holy shit.
Yeah.
We're getting that. We're getting, what is it? My Adventures with Superman coming back very soon. We're
2
getting
weeks
another holy shit, we're getting another Legends of Vox Machina. I'm really excited for Superman, but I don't know how the fuck I'm going to cover it on the channel with the new thing that I've worked out. I don't know, do I like move every Friday video essay and just say, screw it, I'm going to talk about Superman on Friday? It's just going to be Superman Fridays. Or do I try streaming it? Because I need to do more solo streaming more. Would people watch me stream reviewing My Adventures with Superman? I don't know how I could go back and like edit it and make it like fun to watch, but that's like something I could do. Because I know I'm using just like the basic axe version of StreamYard, so I don't know how many images you can actually work in or not, but that's something I've been batting around the idea with.
Yeah, that could work.
Because I know in the past people have really liked my animated things, and it's really helped me find new people. So it's like, I want to do it again, but also, god damn it, I'm so tired already with the like 40, 60 hours plus of, stuff I do every week. I just don't know how I can make it happen. Do I do a big review when it's all done? People seem to hate when I do big reviews of things, like when I did Wonder Man, when I actually did cover movies, people didn't seem to give a shit.
Yeah, it's always like hit and miss whenever I do it. It's like some do good, some do bad. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't get it. Now moving on there to some new stuff. Hey, did you see that we got some leaks of what Bullseye's costume is going to be for Born Again Season 3? And holy shit, they actually found a way to make it more comic accurate.
Yeah, it looks like the Ultimate Bullseye that we saw recently in Ultimate Spider-Man.
What a great level of evolution this character has had, from no costume to stealing Daredevil's costume to eventually just evolving like a Pokemon to reach his final form.
Yeah, it looks great. I liked his costume in Born Again, especially that first one he had in the first episode. I really like that one, but I like this new one. This new one's really cool.
Very Zdarsky. And hey, white eyes on the mask. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of a bone of contention where it's like, hey, should the characters in the movies and the TV shows have the white eyes like they do in the comics? I definitely think it works for some, but not for others.
Yeah, it'll work for him too, because I remember that image he had when he was in the Daredevil costume, and he looked really creepy when he would smile, and he couldn't see his eyes. because of the Daredevil lenses. So I imagine it's going to look exactly the same in this costume, but with the white instead of the red.
Do you think when we inevitably get a Batman in the new James Gunniverse, would you accept if they did white eyes on Batman? Because I feel when people argue this point, it ultimately comes down to like, yeah, but what would it mean for Batman?
Yeah, just give him like the lenses like Mr. Terrific had. Like the little things you put in the eye, not like the white lenses are part of the cowl, like their lenses. Right. And like the Batman's already kind of sort of did that as well, because he's got like the little lenses in the eyes too.
Yeah, he turned them on and off, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, I get it from, like, a filmmaking point of view where it's like, no, they need to emote. The eyes are the windows to the soul. We need to be able to see their eyes. And I know that was, like, a major bugbear bone of contention for, like, making Spider-Man for years and making all these other characters where it's like, well, if we can't see their fucking eyes, what are we supposed to do? We're not artists. We can't fake it the way artists do to make it look like Spider-Man is happy and sad inside the mask.
Yeah, it's why most of the time his mask would get destroyed in battle, or, you know, we get to see the evolution where they'd have, like, the eyes that could move, the lenses that could move, which are really cool.
It's why friggin' Wolverine didn't wear a mask forever until he eventually did.
And then even that was like, I will put it on him for a little bit. Not the whole time, just for a little bit.
I mean, I guess we can say Deadpool is probably, you know, one of the best recipients of this idea because, yeah, they really made the mask work and let him, you know, emote in it and, you know, let, you know, the comedy not be killed by the fact that you couldn't see his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something to think about. What else we got going on here? Oh, speaking of Batman holy shit, all these years later, Batman is actually set to get a brand new butler, and it's a lady this time.
It is, yeah. We're getting a new one in the Matt Fraction series in, like, what, couple of issues? She's turning up.
Yeah,
apparently it's something Alfred left Bruce as, like, a gift, so it makes me think, is this someone related to Alfred?
Is she a robot? Is she a clone? Is it just some woman that Alfred kept chained up in the basement just in case of emergency, break glass?
Yeah, it's like the Zur-En-Arrh. He was in a dark part of the cave.
oh God, the butler of Zur-En-Arrh. Yeah, we haven't had that yet. Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be robot or clone or AI figure. It's got to be. It can't just be a regular lady, can it? That's very un-Matt Fraction-y.
But that's why I really like it. I'd really like if it was just like a lady.
Yeah, where it's like, oh,
she,
I come from the same...
turns up, knows everything about like Bruce and everything because Alfred's like briefed her before his death or something, you know?
Yeah, right, where it's like, oh, did she come from the same butler school as Alfred? Like, what is the deal here? And it's crazy to think that it's been so long since he hasn't had a butler, and like has no one pitched giving him someone new? Is this like something that only Matt Fraction was brave enough?
Yeah, it's really strange. Like, hell yeah, they killed him off, and you'd think they would have tried something that was like, oh, we'll put like an AI in, or just something, someone will take that role, but no one ever did. And then Matt Fraction came along and brought Alfred back in like a ghost way, or like it's Bruce's consciousness, basically. His
literally
conscience.
It is.
Yeah, and brought him back, and then now we're getting this. Yeah, it's so strange, and it's so strange that Alfred has stayed dead.
Right,
like the DC universe just basically got remade because of DC KO. Why did Superman not bring Alfred back to life?
They have had so many chances to bring Alfred back to life, and they haven't. I would love to be a fly on the wall in the DC offices and be like, why? Because hell, even for the shit we give Tom King for killing Alfred, he said, no, I never intended to leave him dead. I was gonna bring him back. It's the DC higher ups who said no.
Yeah, it's odd, especially because as well, like he's like a big supporting character in Absolute Batman, and people seem to like him in that. So it's like, yeah, people like Alfred.
Yeah, we've seen ghost versions of him. We've traveled back in time and seen younger versions of him. Damian had Lazarus resin and almost brought him back several times. They have been so close, but never actually pulled the trigger.
Yeah, I do like that they still keep him around by like him appearing every now and then in Mark Waid's World's Finest. They're like, because that's set in the past, so they can have him appear every now and then.
Yeah, gone but not forgotten. All right, I guess we'll give the new Lady Butler a chance and see what's going on. Wouldn't it be hilarious if like they find some long-winded explanation to be like, "Oh yes, and my name is Alfreda or something. You can just call me Alfred for short, or just Al. It's Alice, but you can just call me Al for short." So just a long-winded way to have Batman have a butler named Alfred again. That also seems like some shit freaking Fraction would also pull.
Yeah, yeah. Or what if like it's not even something real? It could always be something related to, like, we're running with this whole Crown of Storm story. Maybe it's something related to that.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Batman gets it put on his head and this is, how it fixes up his brain. It's true. That could be something.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, I mean, we're also doing this whole, poison ivy bad seeds thing. Is she a plant monster, maybe?
Yeah.
Gotta wonder.
Yeah.
Gotta wonder. More trailers. This week we got our second look at the Green Lantern trailer, and it seems like this one went over much better than the first one. I know you and I spoke at length about how surprised we were by how not having it everyone was for that first Lanterns trailer. This one seems to actually try and address a lot of people's complaints. There's more color, there's more space, there's more, traditional lantern-y stuff in it.
Yeah, stuff that was always going to be in the show, and they were trying...
Right.
They didn't want to spoil it for people. They wanted people to experience this, but it's like, nah, people aren't having that. We'll just show them some stuff, some brief stuff. I did a breakdown of it as well, and the one thing that I cottoned on to really early, and we talked about this as well when we talked about that first trailer, is that how yellow everything looks, and that's the point. It's not some Hollywood, Mexico, Southwest America thing. Yeah. It's not that. That's on purpose. I cited in this new trailer, there's like parts in like the buildings they're in and like the sets they're in, there's like a real emphasis on yellow, which is the color of fear. And I think that's going to be the through line for this. Because, again, the whole trailer is narrated with someone asking John if he's afraid.
Yes, and also throw in the fact that Hal is acting like a huge dick.
Yep.
Very parallaxy. It's like, oh, is he already infected? Is that where we're going with this? Because clearly there's already been many years of the Green Lanterns on Earth and many other adventures. Would it be weird if they just started with Parallax? Not really, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, we even get, like, seeing in this trailer, we see a de-aged Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, a young Hal Jordan, so we're going to get flashbacks and stuff. My theory is that this is all, like, some sort of training exercise for John. Like, they've dropped him into this, like, this whole thing is
Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah, it's like a big training exercise where he's got to, like, solve a murder, but it's like an unsolvable murder, and the whole thing is he's got to overcome the fear, and that's what grants him the ring. And then maybe something goes wrong with the training, the simulation, and they've got to, like, work together or something.
Again, like classic Star Trek episodes, like classic science fiction. Yeah, I could definitely see that. There's also a bit, too, where, it looks like he gets taken down and they shoot him with a science gun, and the science gun clearly has yellow in it. And I'm like, ooh, is that like a Weaponers of Quord creation or something?
That's what I think. There's a bald guy who approaches Hal in that diner where he gets shot at by those guys. And I reckon that guy is a Weaponer of Quard. Like, because he's surrounded by, like, that militia, and I think that's, like, they're going to be, like, in disguise or something.
Right, we also see John talking to a lady who I'm like, oh, is that like a Guardian? Is that do they take human form on Earth? Do they do that?
Yeah, because the way she talks, it feels very like clinical and alien. Yeah.
And I mean, like, I guess there's nothing that's saying they can't do that, the Guardians, and this would also be a good way to cut down on CGI. No, everyone can just take human form whenever they want.
Yeah. If they're in the simulation, they can take whatever form they want. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in disguise. They don't want to freak out Earthlings. Again, it's like Star Trek. You can't mess with a planet's development and everything. Yeah. And if you drop down there all blue and white robed and everything, people are going to freak the fuck out.
Yeah, the Prime Directive, yeah.
Yeah, though maybe they shouldn't, because they also know Superman exists and the other Green Lantern of Earth and the alien Hawk Woman. So, maybe it's not as weird.
Yeah. We do know part of this because there's two timelines in this show, one set in the past and one set in the present. So we do know there's a bunch of this stuff that's going to be taking place pre-Superman appearing, which is interesting. We also see Guy in there, which is really interesting.
Yes, we do.
He's what is
yes,
like how is he going to work in this? Because this would be so strange seeing like this corporate goofball guy turn up and what we see of him, he looks like he's being kind of serious.
Yeah, that's going to be the real make or break. You absolutely nailed it, Matt. How the fuck are they going to make this comedy relief character from the Superman movie who is a Green Lantern but also a corporate stooge? How is he going to react to, John and Hal and everything? What is his place? What is their relationship, if anything? How do the Guardians feel about this?
I have a feeling that Hal doesn't like him because they'll probably see him as like a sellout. He's the corporate guy, but they can't really do anything because technically he's still got great will and all of that, and yeah.
Also, assuming they keep the timeline in place as it is, Hal was first. Well, I mean, technically, Alan Scott was first, but we'll digress on that for a minute.
We know Alan Scott exists because he's on that JSA
right.
Mural in Superman.
That's right. So they're gonna have to deal with that at some point.
Maybe he turns up.
Won't in season 1.
I mean, the lantern that John holds looks very much like
a genie lamp.
Yeah, well, it looks like it looks like Alan's original lantern.
Okay, so they got some work to do. But yeah, assuming Hal is the first modern Lantern, Guy would be his replacement. So they replaced this sour dude, maybe he wasn't always sour, with this corporate, stooge with the silly haircut and everything. How does that work?
Yeah, well, maybe that's what angers Hal, allows him to become a Parallax. It's like, what the fuck?
That's what finally pisses him off and causes him to, go nuts, potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this second trailer more. I definitely think it, sells a much more interesting version of the show, and hopefully we're right.
Yeah, it looks cool. I love all of the look at the constructs we see, like that Hal blocking that giant fucking orbital laser or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, some really cool.
Oh, you mean the Hammer of Dawn?
The Hammer of Dawn. Yeah, that's what I called it in my breakdown. Yeah.
It really fucking is, isn't it?
Yeah, Marcus Phoenix is calling it in on this small town for no reason.
Yeah, I don't know who in the special effects team is a big Gears of War fan, but I see you out there. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I will be interested to see where it goes. I mean, so far this new DC universe is batting 100 in my mind, so I mean, I'm definitely willing to give this a chance, even if some of the people involved did say some dumbass shit that they had to walk back.
Yeah.
And also, Tom King is involved in this one, so we'll see if it gets all weird and kingy at any point.
See, people act like he's like writing every episode,
right?
and I'm like, no, he's like an executive producer on this show. He's probably going to have some influence on it, but it's not going to be like it's a collaborative thing. It's not just going to be his stuff.
It is funny how the internet turned so hard on Tom King so quickly, and I'm out here, I'm like, dude, I had problems with his work first. I was complaining about him first. Now I think you guys are being too hard on him. Is that weird? Is it weird that I've now come full circle and I'm half-heartedly defending Tom King? Also, hey, I guess that Miracle Man cartoon show is actually moving along pretty good, apparently.
Yeah, that's coming along really well. Apparently we'll be getting, casting very soon. And apparently it's casting that's going to, make everyone go crazy. I think there's also hints that Darkseid's going to be in the show. I mean, he would because he's in the Mr. Miracle book.
Yes.
But, that's a big thing for the DCU, getting Darkseid in.
Very. I also wonder, hey, is this show version of the book going to be a 1-to-1? Because the comic is a mini. It's very short. Mm-hmm. Do you expect this to be a long-running thing? Are you just going to do straight-up adaptation?
I think it's just going to be a one-season thing and then be like, these characters are now sort of set up for this universe. They can appear wherever.
Yeah, that's probably how it should be, but as we've seen time and time again, when something is, really successful, they're like, oh, come back and do it again. Oh, but we only planned for one, though.
But I could see that as like a cool creative thing, where it's like, well, we'll like completely change what the show is for second season. First season was like introspective, you know, diving into what this guy is, and like maybe the second season is like a bit more of a traditional comic book superhero thing.
Maybe, we'll see. Speaking of comic books, too, our penultimate piece of news this week. Hey, did you see that after all the kerfuffle and all the confusion and the, understandable anger and righteous indignation in the lead up to DCKO, where it's like, hey, look, kids, Static is back and he's older now and he's going to be teaming up with the Titans. Oh, great. Is he going to be on the team now moving forward? Because you sure sold that idea. Oh, well, you'll have to read the new Dakota incident to find out. Okay, I read it. And it was good, but you didn't
really tell
question.
Anything.
Didn't really say anything. Is Static on the team? And then DC was like, ba-dum, and people were rightly pissed off. Where it's like, did you fucking lie to us? Did you fucking trick us? Did you dangle Static like keys in front of us? Hey, it's kind of fucked up that you did this during Black History Month, and it's also kind of fucked up that you did this and then spent over 1,000 days with no new black heroes, or for that matter, many black creators behind the scenes. Well, apparently, again, your righteous indignation and your grievances reached the proper ears, because it was announced that, yes, Static will finally be joining the new Teen Titans book as of issue number 38.
Yeah.
But he is coming. He is going to be there. We know this is the definition of maybe too little too late, but we did it. We did a thing. Applause, please.
Yeah, it does feel very, very much like quick course correction. I'd be intrigued to see like how he is involved in that book, whether there's like, because I haven't been reading it, but whether there's going to be like that like hard cut where it's like, oh, this is very clearly like hastily new written stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and my thing is like, I'm like, oh, god damn it, do I have to fucking catch up now? Because I want to support Static, and I want to see him in stuff, even though it's like, oh, god damn, a book that I wasn't even really interested in to begin with, because, Titans in general seems to be in a rut very similar to, like, what the X-Men is in, where it's like, you guys just keep playing the hits over and over again. Feels like feels like y'all never actually end up doing anything new. I know for many of the people out there in the Black Comic Alliance who were talking about this, they very vehemently agreed, too little too late on this one. In fact, I don't know if you saw, Matt, but apparently the phase 2 of the whole DC So White movement hashtag there is like a full boycott blackout, where they're like, look, we're not buying any DC comics now, and we're not going to be promoting them on any of our channels. And it kind of took over the internet there. It was all over the place. I saw some really big-ass sites talking about this.
A little bit. The one thing that I didn't particularly like about this is that they kept denying that there are black-led books at the moment, like Absolute Green Lantern. They kept it. They didn't want to include that because it's not part of the
mainline universe.
But it's still part of it, and it's selling really fucking well. But I do agree that there is a problem going on. There is a problem going on.
Yeah, especially when it's like, you announced 13 new books for DC Next Level, didn't you? Yep. And none of them had a single black. Nope. The one black creative team we have is Jamal Campbell. That book is awesome, by the way. Zatanna totally kicks ass, and issue 2 especially, as it does like a whole thing about like the history of jazz and black music in America. Just wonderful.
It's great.
This Static thing, it might just end up being too little too late. One thing I will admit, though, that I loved, and I'm sure you probably saw this too, it was a promotional cover. It was Static shaking hands with John Kent, the Superboy, and he's in his electric blue suit, so they're having like electricity handshake.
Pretty fucking
I'm like,
cool.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty fucking cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
You should have led with that, guy. That's good. You should have led with that one. But yeah, our final news story this week, and this is like just a minor thing. Hey, apparently we are getting a new version of the Midnight Suns, and they're going to be debuting in the pages of Moon Knight, which continues to go from strength to strength. This new team is going to be made up of Moon Knight himself, Blade, of course, Clea, Daredevil, which is very surprising to me.
That's
Holy
cool.
shit, Daredevil is actually going to be on a team. That's a first. He's never been on a Midnight Suns before.
Yeah.
And Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes, which, damn it, if anything made me want to catch up, that makes me want to catch up, because I love me some Robbie.
Yeah, what's he been up to lately? Because I haven't seen him in comics
Nothing.
since the Jason Aaron's Avengers.
Yep, jack and shit is what he has been up to since then. So thank you, Jed MacKay, for remembering this character and pulling him out of obscurity. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, goddamn. I kind of wish they had their own book, though.
Right. Well, here's the thing. As we've seen with these books, if they do well enough here, they will probably spin them out into a team like they did with Helverines and all that other stuff.
Yeah, hopefully.
I can only assume that this will be, like, a big deal, and, like, they're already, like, touting it as a big deal. And I think some people are even more interested in it, because they're like, wait, a new Midnight Sun team, is this related to Marvel Midnight?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, probably not, but thank you for keeping that in mind.
Yeah, they'll probably tout it as that, just to sell it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, as the chat, Space Cowboy very sure to mention there, wonder if Matt's holy powers are going to come back into play. Yeah, because he was a priest. Yeah. He got excommunicated, but he had like a brand new holy white form there for a hot minute.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Holy shit, that happened a while ago, didn't it?
That did, like, literally in that Saldan mid-run, he was fighting and exorcising demons, so he's not a weird choice at all for the Midnight Suns. Yeah. And he, like, literally dresses like the devil, so he literally matches the horror aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, by all means. And also, it's just nice to see Daredevil on a team. He doesn't join teams all that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that new ongoing one from Stephanie Phillips has been pretty good 2 issues in.
Yeah, I've been meaning to pick that up once I get some time, because I know you really like that first issue.
It's very fun, and it's funny, and issue 2 ends with Matt getting scooped up and saved by Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, we're going to go Spider-Man Daredevil team up? We don't get those as much as we used to, and they're always fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Also, Phillips writes a funny Spider-Man who actually has good jokes and good material for a change.
Nice.
Isn't it nice when Spider-Man is actually written by a genuinely funny person?
Yeah, someone who's got something to say with them, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like so many writers are like, oh, geez, I guess he has to be funny, so he's got to have a quip here, but I'm not really a comedy writer, so I don't know what to do. Like, as much as I enjoy Joe Kelly, I feel he's very reference-heavy in his comedy. It's like, well, now Spider-Man's going to reference The Bear, or he's going to reference, some video game.
Something that's relevant when they were writing it, which when it comes out, it's a couple of months later, so it's not really relevant anymore.
It never is.
Yeah.
No, it never, ever is. Now, to Joe Kelly's credit, I will say his reference pool is actually pretty impressive for a man who is the same age as my father. I will give him that.
That's like a lot of writers. Like I say the same thing about like Mark Waid and everything, where it's like, yeah, this guy's getting up there in age, but he's pretty relevant when it comes to like the culture zeitgeist.
Good on you for being hit, but then again, I guess comics has always kind of been a youth business, so if you want to make it, you probably should hang out with the young people and know what's going on, and not be like some old-ass fuddy-duddy.
I wonder as well if it, like, especially with like Mark Waid, I wonder if like hanging out with like Jorge Jimenez and Dan Mora, these younger guys, like is probably like, oh yeah, I know what like anime is, I know who Goku is, and yeah,
that probably helps a lot. You're not wrong. In fact, hey, in Justice League from this week, there's a great scene where Mark Waid and Dan Mora are in the book together.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny. Love that. Yeah, Kelly is in like his 50s, like I said, the same age as my father.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he might be like a year younger, maybe, actually. I think he might be slightly younger than my father, but still up there. He is dad-aged. But yeah, that's basically all the news there was for this week. Not a ton, but some pretty interesting stuff there. Where would you like to go, Matt, after this? I know there was some big finales. There was the end of The Boys we never talked about. There was Mandalorian and Grogu. Do we want to cover any of them? Do we want to go directly into books for this week? How you feeling?
Let's talk about the movies and TV, then go into the books.
All right, sure. I'll let you go.
Well, let's start with The Boys, because that finished, last week? Yeah, last week.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and it was a pretty good ending, I think.
It was good enough. It hit all the points it needed to, in many cases hitting points that I thought that they would be afraid to actually hit, and that is like, okay, good. They understood that by the end, Butcher should be the villain too, and part of Huey's ultimate development and the final act of his maturing is he needs to stop Butcher. And he does, and they nail that.
The way I know it was a good ending is because it angered all of the usual suspects.
Yes, it did.
the Elon Musks, the fucking grifter shitheads on Twitter and everything, who suddenly realized here in the final episode, wait, Homelander's the bad guy?
I could not believe that. People are being like, oh, they should have had so much more sympathy and grace for him. He had such a hard life. No. And the fact that you think that tells me you watched the show wrong.
Yeah.
No, he shouldn't, just like Butcher should have no grace for what happened to him. In fact, I think they do a really great job in Butcher's final moments there where it's like, yeah, you got your revenge. You got to kill the man you hated, your Ahab with your white whale. And what did it cost you? Everything. It cost you everything in your life.
Yep. Even when it was all over, you just couldn't leave well enough alone. It just consumed you, and it ended up causing you to die.
Yep. Again, which is the perfect way for that character's story. It could go no other way. I mean, nothing but, kudos and flowers to Carl Urban and Anthony Starr. Is that his name?
Yeah, Anthony Starr.
Anthony Starr, two all-timer performances in this, where it's like, you guys will live on forever now in, drama school monologues and, endless quotes. You guys nailed this. This was a hell of a double act.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really hope Anthony Starr doesn't get typecast from now on, though.
Right? Because he was so good in this. Yeah. Oh, is he going to be playing psychotic villains forever now after this?
I hope not. I really hope not.
And I mean, he really did save the best for last. I'll suck your fucking dick. I'll eat your shit.
It's great. I loved Homelander's realization he didn't have the powers anymore, and just how all that bluster and ego just went away.
Every bully brought low when they no longer have the power to abuse people. And the show had been building up to that forever. Yeah. Multiple characters had told him, without your powers, you wouldn't be
You're
shit.
Nothing.
And they were right.
Yeah. He had that the Stan Edgar talk that's ripped directly from the book, where it's like, I don't, I'm not, upset, not scared of you or anything. You're nothing.
You're pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, even Frenchie, who walked away with probably, one of the best lines of the final season, I bet you've never danced a day in your life.
Yeah.
Which is such a perfect summation of Homelander's character. All this power, all this authority, and it has not brought you a moment of joy. I think even when he talked to the head of Vought, a couple episodes ago, he's like, we often wondered, why didn't you just fly away? You had all this power. Why didn't you do? Because you're broken. Because you needed the love. You needed the attention.
Yeah, you wanted you wanted that validation. Yeah.
That was the real Cage. That's what kept you around. And I'm like, oh, that's powerful. And they saw it through to the end in a really meaningful way that I super appreciate. And it's one of those situations, too, where it's like, no, they really did need to kill Homelander, because if they depowered him and threw him in jail or something like that, he would have moved heaven and earth to try and get powers again.
Yeah, he would have done everything in his disposal to become a villain, which that would have been interesting to see, him without the powers, and maybe you do where Butcher still has his powers or something, and there's that dynamic shift, but at the same time, no, he needed to die. He had to die.
Yeah. That was the catharsis after 5 seasons. It needed to happen, and they did it in a satisfying way. Yeah. Again, there was some weird stuff that I raised an eyebrow about. Early on in the series, I talked about how great Ryan was as an addition to the series, because obviously he's not in the book. And I'm like, oh wow, he's torn between these two worlds, Homelander and Butcher, and he has the potential to be what this world has never actually had before, a true hero, a true Superman, a savior, if he was only raised right and proper. The show didn't quite go in that direction. I'm glad he helped at the end. I'm glad he was there and that, actually did try and make right. Was not expecting them to depower him the way he did, but maybe that was for the best, because now he gets the chance to be normal, and now he's not going to be torn between his two fathers' legacies.
I kind of wish we would have gotten more of him in this season, because it finally he came in, and it felt like they didn't have the actor for very long because he was committed to something else. So it was we could only do so much with him and then bring him back for the finale. I would have really liked to have seen him what he was up to while all this was going on, where he's trying to do good, but he can't, or he finds it very difficult, and that kind of will add up to him losing his powers and being okay with that.
Yeah, he seemed early on like he was going to be so much more of a bigger focus and that he was going to have a bigger impact in the finale of the show than he did. He didn't have no impact.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do appreciate how happy his ending was, where it's like, oh, he's just going to live with mother's milk and his family now. Oh, he finally got a nice, sane, normal family who loves him. That's nice.
Yes, I'm glad mother's milk got out of there and got his family back. That was cool. I enjoyed that. I thought that was pretty cool. And him living with Ryan was pretty cool.
That was nice. I thought that was very well done. Sister Sage made me laugh there. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to be dumb as fuck forever now, and I've decided I'm going to become an adult Harry Potter fan in the year 2026.
I saw people getting mad that she didn't get her comeuppance, and I'm like, yeah, the world of the boys is terrible. It's shit. Like, yeah, it makes sense that one of the person who was coming up with like ideas for concentration camps would get out of there scot-free.
Also, you think being an adult Harry Potter fan in the year 2026 isn't its own comeuppance? That's the people who say that to me. I'm like, oh, well, that tells me everything I need to know about your relationship to intelligence and smart people. No, the tragedy of Sage is that she could have done so much good and so much more, but she didn't because she didn't care. Her intelligence is wasted and will continue to be wasted, and that is a self-own on her, is what it really is.
Yes, she's now become Amazon Prime subscriber.
Yeah, she is the definition of a walking, talking self-own, is what it is, and that is the
Consumer,
tragedy.
Yeah,
that is what you could have done. You could have cured cancer.
Yeah.
You could have done all these things, and now you're not going to do any of it, and you're actually kind of stoked about it. It is the definition of that phrase: ignorance is bliss. We all know that part of it. Ignorance is bliss, but people don't know there's a second part to that. Ignorance is bliss when 'tis folly to be wise. The world is just folly to be wise. That's what she is. It sucks to be smart, so I don't even want to be smart. So, fuck the whole thing. It's actually quite sad and fucked up when you think about it, but I think some people weren't willing to dig that extra layer into it.
No, as we've learned in recent years, media literacy is below the toilet.
Little bit there. Yeah. And I guess the other really surprising thing is that, they defeat Homelander, but the Vought super threat is not done. Edgar brought himself back into power.
Very realistic.
So, yeah, very realistic. It's like, yeah, I'm back on top now, and we're gonna redo this, and we're gonna do it right this time, and we're gonna have safeguards in place. And I'm like, yeah, so the fight continues, is what you're saying, which makes sense in this is a realistic critique of American consumer culture and everything, and also from Amazon's point of view, where it's like, and this leaves the door open for any sequel projects that we potentially want to do, and we will. We'll see if anyone likes that, but we will.
That's the thing I found so funny with this entire show, The Boys, where it's like they spent 5 seasons just making fun of the MCU, the cinematic universes, and they've got all these other shows on the cook now at the moment. It's so funny. I'm like, you can't really do that, guys. You can't really do that.
But they were always going to, and I think some people didn't see it coming, and I'm like, no, obviously they did. They're made by Amazon, guys. They're made by the real life fucking Vought Corporation. Yeah, I know sometimes you can be a great artist and you can get in some really great cultural critiquing in there. Same for Andor. Yeah, but you're also owned by the fucking Disney Corporation is what you are. This is why these companies, these real Voughts, are so evil and so insidious. They have monetized the very concept of revolting against them. And they get paid either way, and we sit here being like, wow, I can't believe that actually went out on one of these things, man. Can you believe they said that in something, so mainstream? Yes, because rich people get paid regardless. They don't give a fuck. They're not watching it. They don't care. They've got their sex yachts and their human hunting grounds.
Yeah.
and their fucking ketamine drips, what they're actually doing.
Yeah, they're blood boys,
Yeah, do you think these guys watch TV? You think, goddamn, the head of Amazon watches TV? Of course not. He's too busy buying out all of, goddamn Naples for his stupid wedding.
Yeah, going into space, blowing up rockets and shit, yeah.
Yeah, that's what the rich are doing. They're too busy blowing up fucking rockets is what they're doing. And I guess, too, we also got, a little teaser thing there for Vought Rising. It looks okay.
Yeah, it looks a lot better than I thought it was going to look like. It looks like
it looks like a real show.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm intrigued to see what that's going to be like. And Yeah, I mean, boys ended pretty well. Again, why were the Gen V kids in this series if you weren't going to use them at
So
all?
sad.
The second last episode, you sent them away only to bring them back in that final episode because we need to bring them back for this, but.
And like they try and have Starlight appeal to Marie in the same way that Queen Maeve appealed to her. They try and make this thematic connection, but it doesn't really work because again, you're just sending them off to Canada, so it's like, what the fuck cares? Though that's a spin-off I would like, The Boys Canada, the secret underground railroad of these characters. I mourn we will never see Lil Cricket and her brown hair again.
Yeah,
I was very invested in Lil Cricket and her hair. I want nothing but good things for that actress because she is fucking funny.
She's really
very
good.
funny.
She's very good.
She has great timing, great delivery. I hope we get something new with her. Like, seriously, if I worked at Amazon, I would be trying to work on the Lil Cricket spin-off show, whatever that would be.
They can appear. Is that Boys Mexico show still happening?
It's in development.
Yeah, so, I mean, they got that coming. Vought Rising, which I have to assume Vought Rising... the setup for Vought Rising, I bet, is it's all going to be like Soldier Boy remembering, like he's because he got put back in that fucking stasis.
Yeah.
It's all like his memories in his mind. And
are we gonna have a wraparound?
I bet the show ends with him waking up or something into a world where like Homelander's dead, fucking Vaught's disarray. Like, what does he do? Just go to fucking Brazil and smoke fat doobies and shit, and like he wanted to.
Well, See, I think Vought Rising is a show that will live and die depending on what the wraparound and what the POV is. Because I see some people out there really turning against the show, like, already, where it's like, oh yeah, that's what we really want to see. We want to see a show built around a bunch of Nazis and Nazi sympathizers. And I'm like, guys, do you not know the politics of the guys who were writing The Boys up until this point? Do you actually think they would do that? That seems like a bit of a reach there. Look, just say you're not excited for the show. That's fine. You don't need to make this some sort of weirdo moral failing conspiracy theory on it. Again, maybe they have something to say about the rise of Nazism in America and how it's always been there. It's just been dressed up on a different veneer. My theory is that Vought Rising, we're going to have a new POV character. Like, we're going to have the Huey of this show is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Who's the person who sees all this? Because it can't really be Soldier Boy, because we know he lives, is the thing. So he would be really bad to build the show around. We need it to be about someone else, is what we need. Maybe, like, a young person working at Vought.
Maybe we're going to learn that he had, like, his version of Bucky.
Right.
And it might be him who ends up dying, or like, as you said, like a new scientist at Vought or something. I do know that in that trailer it did seem like the POV is going to be fucking Soldier Boy, because it looks like we're starting to show like how he got the serum and like became Soldier Boy, which kind of undoes a lot of the stuff we learn about him in The Boys, where he was like a nepo baby who like used his father's like wealth and influence to buy his way into the program just so he could outdo his brother, whereas the trailer made it look like he like wanted to actually do something good.
Yeah, I guess we'll see where that ends up going.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? I don't think. Apparently, the show's being pitched as like a golden age murder mystery.
Yeah.
So someone got killed. We don't know who it is, and apparently, it's quite important that it ties all these different.
Do you reckon it's going to be
together.
like the start of like, oh, a super got killed, and it was by like a proto virus of the virus used in the Boys or something?
I thought you were going to say, a soup got killed and it could only be another soup in this room. Oh, are we doing Watchmen? Are we doing a Watchmen pastiche?
Yeah, I mean, it's a period piece, so maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
A comedian died in New York. Could be something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to give it a chance. It's one of those things, too, where it's like when you're doing a prequel series, what's the shelf life on this, guys? I know Better Call Saul ran for a long time for being a prequel.
Mm.
Are you also hoping for 5 seasons? How long can you drag this shit out for?
Yeah.
Also, Soldier Boy did have a Bucky. We met him in like season 2. What was his name? Like Gun Nut or something?
Gun Nut. Yeah, I mean, he was a Gun Nut. Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe he has like a traditional one, because that guy was like more just like
of the modern, like, you know, like Avengers pastiche, where this is clearly supposed to be like the JSA pastiche.
Yeah, they never did anything because there was like heavy implications that like Soldier Boy like sexually abused him and everything in that show, and that's never touched on again. Like never touched on again.
Which that's very NS. That's something the show cleaned up immensely. Where it's like, no, only a couple of these, you know, superhero villains are actually, you know, perverted sex freak monsters. Where in the Garth Ennis book, they all are.
They all are, because that's what comes with your power. You can do anything.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's like, no, they're all rapists and pedophiles. You see. Which that was another thing, too, where it's like, did you find it funny, too, that in the end, Starlight's big, like, no, okay, this is your villain you need to fight and overcome, was the Deep? I mean, I guess it makes sense, because it all kind of kicks off with the Deep being a creepy perv to her. I just thought it was funny. It almost felt like they're like, well, we need to get Starlight away from the rest of this fight, because it'll be weird if she doesn't help, so we need to have her have a fight with the Deep, even though we have shown that the Deep is the most pathetic amongst the pathetic.
I understand what they were setting up with, like, the sea creatures turning on the guy who can control them, sort of thing. But I kind of wish that Annie was the one who killed him. Like, it felt like that. Yeah, that right. should have been happened. Maybe like the sea animals help her because they realize what he did to her. I do like, though, that he just flat out, like, in dialogue, refused any sort of character development. I thought that was hilarious. That was so funny.
Very funny. And that's, he's fucking Ron DeSantis. Yeah. He's all these other characters like, nope, I'm on till the wheels fall off, because I have no or more like a J.D. Vance, I have no personality, I have no upward momentum any other way, I have hitched my wagon to this, and I will happily die with this.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe if I could, you know, if I could offer an alternate take for a show that's already done, maybe during the course of the fight, the Deep and Annie both end up getting knocked into the water, and she's worried at first, like, oh fuck, I'm in the water. This is, you know, his his home turf. Obviously, I'm gonna lose. Then he gets eaten up by the fish.
Yeah. The fish save her and kill him.
Yeah, but then it's also like, you know, why would the Deep even be willing to take it to the water, and she wouldn't put it back? They set up a lot of things.
Well, you could always do something where he's like so stupid and so like headstrong. They thought, not all sea creatures know I'm bad, so that some will help me, you know, because I'm the Deep. Yeah, right. I'm the Deep, you know.
Yeah, have him be like, no, they were bluffing. I'm the king of the seven seas. That's PR, asshole.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, he buys his own shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's VOT PR, you stupid idiot. But yeah, I was satisfied with the boys' conclusion. Again, are there some things I wish got a little bit more time? Are there some things that I thought, you know, should have been done different? Oh, sure. But I think it hits, like, the 3 points it really needed to hit.
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day is all you can really ask. Mandalorian and Grogu, then? We both saw that.
Yeah, and I think we both enjoyed it, but I think we also both came to the same conclusion. It's like, this could have just been a season of television.
Yeah, that's my biggest takeaway, and I said this before I even saw the movie, where I'm like, look, I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy this, because I like The Mandalorian and Grogu as a show, and no, the movie didn't quite beat the just a long episode of the show allegations, but it was the thing I like, and on the big screen, and turned up to 11, so sure, why not?
Yeah.
And, like, people have made, like, a big thing about it, where it's like, oh, well, it doesn't move, you know, the meta story of Star Wars forward. Do any of them need to? Like, what is even the timeline? What does even forward look like for this thing right now? If anything, what this clearly seemed to do, more than just about anything, more than, like, even friggin' Skeleton Crew, this tried really hard to be an accessible on-ramp for non-hardcore Star Wars fans to get into Star Wars. This is probably, like, the most accessible thing.
Yeah, it really is. And I enjoyed it, but, like, but that being said, with like how it's like the most accessible thing, it means then we don't get a lot of like character development.
I mean, yes. I mean, you could argue that, like, Din Djarin as a character, it's like, well, yeah, he's the man with no name. He rolls into town. He has more of an impact in the world around him than the world around him has on him. And also, if we want to get really serious, this was more a Grogu movie. This was more about Grogu going on his first solo adventure on his own, which, again, if this was a season of television, that would have just been an episode. But because it's a movie, it's the latter half of the movie.
It is. I quite liked all of that. How there's like 20 minutes where it's just like there's barely any dialogue. Yeah. It's just like
puppets.
It's just the practical effect puppets building fucking little huts and going through fucking all this set and everything. That was like really fucking cool.
Wildly impressive.
Yeah, I loved all of how much of it was practical.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be taking the mouse's money, yeah, you might as well make the most expensive puppet show ever put to screen. And not just puppets, too. Later on, we get some goddamn stop-motion stuff with the robots, and I'm like, wow, that looks like some Phil Tippett shit. Then to find out later, oh my god, it was!
Yep.
Holy shit, no wonder it looked baller. It's the goddamn Mad God guy, the dude who worked on the original fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, no, he did all of that sort of stuff, and yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
And it was sick. You know, also, too, where it's like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, you're going to find nothing to enjoy here. No, Zeb actually becomes the third man on Mando's crew. They're hanging out together. They have some fun back and forth. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And that means when we see him again in Rebels, or not Rebels, in Ahsoka Season 2, when we see the Rebels reunite, that's going to be a big deal. The twins, surprisingly, end up becoming the villains in this. These, you know, blink and you'll miss them characters from Book of Boba Fett, which their ultimate destruction, I guess, finally answers, oh yeah, that's why we don't see the Hutts in the sequel trilogy, huh?
Yeah, they're all pretty much destroyed. I did like the Hutt, like, I like Nal Hutta, but I like the Hutt, like, palace and how it was all gross.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a slug mound.
Like slug mound, you see them all, like, in their, like, little, like, hive bits and everything. That's pretty cool.
Very cool. Also, just seeing Nal Hutta in general, where it's like, man, I have been reading about this in books and comics and video games for years, and only now am I officially seeing it in a real-ass movie.
I really wish we got to see Nar Shaddaa. We see it in a couple of establishing shots when they arrive on Nal Hutta. You see it in the background, and you can see the planet and, like, the cities. I'm like, that's Nal Hutta, that's Nar Shaddaa. Let's go there. Let's go and see Nal Shaddaa.
Yep. Oh, I was totally rocking my seat. I'm like, please go there. Please do the thing. Aww.
Kind of wish they'd made that Skataris or whatever, the Martin Scorsese planet, Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah, right, you know, make it a little easier on yourself, just have it all be on the same planet. No, but then people would complain, where it's like, in a universe as big as Star Wars, he never leaves one planet. How does all these things happen on one planet? I'm sure that was a complaint they were trying to meet halfway. That being said, I will say that planet had a bitchin' fucking theme, didn't it?
It did. It was a really cool theme. Ludwig Göransson's entire score for this movie is great.
Oh, it pops. It's so fucking good. Not only is it good, but this is like Star Wars music that feels new and experimental in a way I never thought it would.
Yeah.
Like synths, when we're going to that, you know, Blade Runner planet and the fucking synths start kicking in, and I'm like, god damn, this is good.
Yeah, no, it was great, yeah.
And then I found out later he was the dude who did a bunch of the music for Sinners, and I'm like, fuck off, really?
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, he's
great.
What a guy. He's great.
As the chat is saying, Planet Chicago. Yeah, they go to Planet Chicago.
I think that's literally how Jon Favreau explained it, where it's like basically Chicago if everything went wrong, and it's just like a mass of scum and villainy.
Yeah, built on a salt economy, which I actually quite enjoy. And I'm like, yeah, this is the silly science fiction I like, where it's like, oh yeah, and here salt is the rarest thing because it's banned and it's limited by our government. And Mando's just sitting there like, bitch, salt is plentiful wherever I go. This is your weird thing. I don't give a shit about your salt. And you can't bribe me with it either.
The main villain I really just didn't care about, because not because he's not like it's cool as like an Imperial holdout and everything, but like the thing I hated, and they try and make it like the twist of the movie where the guy Mando is looking.
So obvious.
It's so obvious. He doesn't even change his name or anything like that. So it's like
no, I said it instantly when that guy stepped up. He's the guy. Yeah, he's the ace of spades they're after.
Yeah,
because we have media literacy, Matt. I have read the science fiction that this is riffing on. I have read the stories that this is riffing on. Also, more than anything, Mandalorian Grogu, I'm like, man, this makes me want to do a Star Wars D&D session, because this is written like a Star Wars D&D session. I need the thing. Well, you got to go here. Well, that guy wants a favor, so you got to go there. Yeah. Oh, that guy was actually the same guy.
Yeah, I just really kind of wish the movie had been set around that deck of cards, where that's the movie. Like, you have the first one where he kills that first guy on that ice planet, comes back, Sigourney Weaver gives him the ship and like the deck, and be like, knock them all off, and then the last one being Coin, and maybe there's some hints that like, Coin was like getting stuff ready for Thrawn, and that's how you tie that into Thrawn.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing too, and we even joked about this before, like, dude on the ice planet, I'm like, bitch, you got 2 nodes on your badge, you're a fucking lieutenant, why should I be scared of you? Yeah. You barely rose to the rank of anything, and then it's like, yes, the ace of spades, the most dangerous one, Coin. Kind of like a half-ass Bond villain. I like the idea that instead of being a warlord, he just became a crime boss running a whole planet. But I'm like, this is your ace of spades. This is your top fucking guy.
And how could you not find him when he's running like a successful criminal fight pit empire, and he's not some shadowy guy who's never around. He's there at the fight pit, just like sitting there
all the time.
Like, he doesn't even change his name. So like, well, what the fuck is Rebel Intelligence up to? You could have had a thing where it's where it's like Rebel Intelligence cottoned onto it, but because like they've been infiltrated by like Imperial holdouts, like that in the Mandalorian season 3, you had Katie O'Brien.
That's right.
And her character like messing shit up. You could like connect it to there, where there's this like, if you just thought about it just a little bit more, you could have had that connection.
And you know what? And I'm sure someone brought that up in writing, and I'm sure they all got shouted down the same way. No, that's continuity. On-ramp, simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so funny, too, where it's like, really? So, I mean, like, you know, like, not Hux, not any of these other guys on, like, the Secret Shadow Council or anything are in this deck? Do they just think they're dead or missing or something? Like, shouldn't there be some bigger dudes here? That was my big, like, well, where the hell is this going to go in the future of Mando? If you've already hunted the Ace of Spades, if you've already hunted the top, rogue Imperial guy there, and we know Thrawn is going to be dealt with in Ahsoka, then, like, I guess that's curtains on the fucking Empire at that point, right?
Yeah, I'd have to say the other guys would be like, they'd probably explain it was like, they disappeared into the unknown regions and they come back as the First Order.
Yeah,
because that was the whole thing with the First Order. They appeared from the unknown regions.
Yes, eventually they're going to need to tell that story. And also, they also mentioned, like, the pirates again, where I'm like, yes, because the pirates are actually being funded by the First Order is the whole thing, to try and create a bunch of chaos so that they can eventually swoop on in and do it. And there's also, like, a New Order political party, too, that's also gaining thing. Like, feels like that should be a story. But then again, Star Wars is in this weird place where it's like, okay, those are stories you tell, but do you tell those on television? Do you tell those in a movie? Is that background for a book or a comic or a video game? Yeah. You have all these avenues, but it feels like you're in a weird place where it's like, well, we don't know what story should be what anymore.
Yeah, they kind of tied their hands with how they like did all of this stuff, where there's a continuity, but it's also a continuity that like contradicts its own continuity.
It's a choose your own continuity is what it is.
Fuck it, yeah.
And again, I like the movie. I had a fun time with it. I love the mix of like, here's Mando fucking battering these goddamn space Nazis, and here's cute puppets having cute puppet adventures.
Yeah, here's like giant monsters in an arena. Here's a giant like sea snake and everything, and all of that was like fun. Embo shows up, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about Embo for a second there. Man, this movie really had a lot of love for Embo, where it's like, wait, so Embo is not only on
creation, so...
Well, yes, you got my punchline there. It's like, wait, so not only is Embo like the last of the great Clone Wars bounty hunters left standing, not only is he on the same level physically as the Mandalorian, basically being the heavy for the twins in the whole movie there, but he also survives at the end.
Yeah, he makes it out with his little doggo. Yeah.
Which that's good too, he has a little doggo, Mandalorian has Grogu, so they all get to fight.
Yeah, he's the Dave Filoni creation, of course. He made it out alive.
I just thought that was so funny, and I'm shocked more people didn't complain about that. Where it's like, so old ass Embo is as good as the Mandalorian now.
He's an alien. Who knows how old he is?
That's true. We don't know how his fucking species ages. Maybe they get stronger as they get older. I also think it's funny. I wonder if in the back of their head they're like, damn it, why did we kill Cad Bane in Book of Boba Fett? Fuck, it should have been Cad Bane, shouldn't it have been?
Yeah.
In fact, I think I heard some people in my movie theater actually go, Cad Bane? No, this is the other guy.
Yeah.
It's the other one. You're not wrong. Yes, he was hanging out with those guys back then. No, this is a different, blue-skinned alien. This guy just doesn't talk, though. I guess he talks a little bit, but he talks in like alienese.
Alienese, yeah.
His hack and stop blaster fire.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I also gotta wonder, is his surviving to maybe a leftover from when they're like, oh, no, we're going to tie all of these universes together. We're going to have a Dave Filoni Avengers Star Wars movie with Mando and Boba Fett and Ahsoka. Maybe Embo, maybe Rada. Maybe they were supposed together to fight Thrawn. Maybe we're not doing that now.
Or maybe we still are. Because, I guess, Rada is now in charge of the Empire, what's left of it. Again, the movie leaves it very ambiguous. The twins died, but surely Hutt space is big. It's not small or anything. So is I guess Rodder in charge? And Rodder I like, but so many of his lines were just I'm not like my dad. I'm not like Jabba.
He gives the same speech 3 times, which is really wow, you guys should have caught this in the script. Again, Jeremy Allen White, very charming. Rada, cool story, good concept for a character where it's you could easily spin him off into other adventures. I'd definitely read about him. It'd be cool if he came back at some point. But every time he was on screen, it felt like he was auditioning for the fans. It's but you like me, right?
The problem I had as well is they had him completely talking basic the entire time. It's no, let him talk in Huttese sometimes. Give him the booming Huttese voice, and sometimes he talks in English. Again, it's that whole thing where it's we can't have these characters talk in alien languages because people will just tune out. Where it's you look at Return of the Jedi, Jabba never once talked in English. It was all subtitled Huttese, and it worked. It was great.
That didn't bug me so much. That if anything, I think that strengthens Jabba as a character. Where he's no, I'm not going to speak your stupid fucking basic language. You will meet me because I am the big boss. You will learn my language. Where again, the twins and even Rada, where it's no, we're a new generation of Hutts. We're trying to be part of the bigger universe. I'm the rebellious child, so I'm going to speak in basic. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot to enjoy in it. Again, Grogu getting basically more development than anyone here, which, as I said before, that probably would have just been an episode of the show. But very fun to see him do stuff. Hey, he builds a mud hut like Yoda's, and then he walks around with a stick, and I'm is that just an inherent thing for this species that they just know how to do that?
Apparently it is.
It's in the genetic memory of Yoda's planet, wherever it is. Do you think that's a trigger that they might pull in the future where it's okay, what if we actually go to Yoda's planet? Would that just completely destroy all immersion? Would that be a song we can't unsing?
Yeah, it feels like we have to do something with that. Like I said, we need that that thing that drives his story forward in some way. Where it's we were talking about it before, where it's how do we get him to talk? Do we get him to do something that we have not seen him do before?
He says his first words, and this are the way. Do we flash forward to the future? Because as you and I opined many times during the series, it's okay, so he was raised by the Jedi, adopted by the Mandalorian. Baby Grogu could be the next Vizsla, is what you're saying. He could be that next, galaxy-changing figure, a son of two worlds of two of the most powerful groups of people.
Yeah.
And, would that scare the shit out of some people? Would there be Jedi who would be no, he's an abomination. We cannot let another Vizsla come again. Would there be other Mandalorians who are scared shitless by that concept?
Yeah, there's something you can do with that, and I hope they do with that.
At some point, because again, I enjoyed the movie, but it's also okay, but where do you go from here though? Do we get another season of Mandalorian? Do we get another crossover movie? Does he cameo in Ahsoka season 2? I don't know. Well, and I say that as a fan. I say that as someone who's look, I'm gonna probably enjoy it, whatever it is, but it'd be nice to know.
Well, I mean, movie's not doing too well at the moment at the box office, so I don't know whether we'll have a movie.
I wonder how that's going to change things. That being said, they didn't spend a stupid amount of money on this. They didn't spend like Solo money where it was like $200 million and they filmed it twice. Someone broke it down for me. I believe the numbers are this was more expensive than season 1, but considerably less expensive than season 2 and 3. Season 1, I think they spent $165 million. Season 2, I think they spent $200 million. I think they spent quite a lot of money. And then season 3, they spent considerably less on. And this movie, is somewhere, it's less than that. So they actually made this for a not ridiculous amount of money.
Okay, well, maybe it might break even. I do feel like they thought, this was going to be like a runaway hit. It's Mandalorian and Grogu. Of course it's going to be, do gangbusters.
I'm sure. But then again, too, I also feel like in the script writing, I can feel like the wheels turning with them, and they're like, look, Star Wars has become inaccessible. Weird, angry nerds have made it like this weird political grifter firestorm. Families are scared to go because they don't know if they need to see all the shows and all the movies. We need a nice, safe, accessible on-ramp that people can bring their children to, and where the children won't be bored and freaked out. And there was a lot of kids in my theater, and they really liked it. I think this is Filoni, and especially him playing the long game, where it's like, look, we need that moment where it's like, look, even if you hate the prequels, now there's a whole generation of kids who grew up and they're like, oh well, that was my Star Wars. That's what meant something to me. I feel like that's what they were going for here. We need to make some core motherfucking memories here is what we need. And hopefully it does that.
Yeah.
And maybe we won't see the payoff of this for like a couple decades.
No, we'll see.
That was my thought there, where it's like, that's what it felt like they were trying to do, where it's like, look, we need to make Star Wars accessible again. It's gotten too weird and self-referential and up its own ass.
Yeah, I just hope we do get to see these characters again, because I really like them. And I hope it isn't something that just like drives their plot forward.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And again, we've even done some pitches where it's like, where would you like to go for this? I mean, should Mando be there when they fight Thrawn?
I think he should.
Or should that be a thing for the Rebels and Ahsoka? I don't know.
I think he should be like, oh, we need our best guys in. Let's bring Mando and Grogu in, and like the Force user there as well. So yeah.
Because, it feels like you've set up enough characters where you could very easily do like a Star Wars Avengers if you wanted it, like a Dirty Dozen type movie.
Yeah.
And then, like, there's other stuff, too, that's left open. Like, we don't see Bo-Katan and we don't see Mandalore again. So, could that be a show? Could that be a thing, trying to rebuild Mandalore and what that looks like? Because, again, in the sequel trilogy, we don't see any Mandalorians and they don't get mentioned.
Nope.
So, like, what happened there? Did they become isolationists again? Why did they become isolationists?
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what that story is going to hold?
Yeah, is there a reason they decided to sit out the war? I wonder.
Yeah.
Again, there is places to go. There's things that could be done, and maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. But I think we both liked it, and I'm going to watch it again when it comes out on Blu-ray, and
same.
And hopefully it comes with some making of stuff, because I want to see all those puppets again. And
those are always good.
Yeah, but it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah. Which I think is what, like, again, we came in with realistic expectations where it's like, yeah, this looks like a long episode of the show, but I like the show, and it's been a few years since I've seen the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't have a bad time at the movies. I saw an IMAX, which is definitely the fucking way to see it. When he's on that droid bike there and flying through the frickin' mound and everything, I'm like, yo.
Yeah, it looked great. Yeah, it looked really cool.
Also, Droid Gatra. I can't believe they actually said the words Droid Gatra out loud. Something I have only fucking read in books and comics. Now they made Pedro Pascal say it.
Yeah.
Also, nice, too, that they gave, Lawrence Crowder and the other guy, Wayne, the two body doubles for Pedro Pascal, equal billing with him in this movie, as they should.
They deserve it, yeah, because they're probably in it for 90% of the movie, 99% of the movie.
Yes, yes, they are. There's a minute when they take Pedro's helmet off, and I'm like, oh, hey, Pedro, thanks for joining us. I didn't think you'd actually be here.
And then they immediately give him the helmet back.
Yeah, nope, he's busy doing other things. It's really hi Pedro, bye Pedro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I promise I was here, guys.
Yeah,
I was definitely on the movie
set,
this
yeah.
whole time. Yeah, the whole time, absolutely. I mean, look, he did the media for the whole thing,
Yeah.
so you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, he actually did tell a story. I think it was like in that interview where they give celebrities puppies. He talked about that water scene and how hard it was to actually do that in all the armor. And I'm like, yeah, that is actually a good way to evolve the Rancor pit, because yeah, your whole character is this armor, but in water it's fucking useless. It's gonna drag you down.
Yep.
That was a nice touch. And of course, the twins being like, oh, well, we have to do bigger and better than Jabba.
Yeah.
We've got a giant white snake instead of a Rancor.
Yeah, we got a big dragon snake that's gonna poison you. Yeah.
Oh, and little fish monsters, too.
Yeah.
I love that
The
thing.
Amana
It's like,
Man,
I've killed
yeah.
your little fish monsters.
Yeah, the Amana Man. Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah. Again, all weirdo practical effects.
Yeah, fucking great.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to quickly talk about our comics for this week? Because again, we went over time talking about movies and shows.
We can. I'll let you start because I've got to run to the bathroom because I'm busting for a pee. But I'll be back in a minute.
All right. What the fuck did I cover this week, everyone? Oh yeah, I had Absolute Wonder Woman. Basically, poor Diana gets tortured for like a whole issue for daring to try and save Zatanna and Zatara. Really interesting what they do with their morality of those two characters. Like, we're not evil, but we're not so good that we're gonna jump to try and help you. We gotta have our own selfish things going on, which I thought was kind of interesting. And, you know, Diana is forced to suffer because of that. Because she tried to be good in a world that never rewards good, because it's the fucking absolute universe, and the absolute universe is pain and suffering. They also really, really tee it up that Barbara Ann Minerva is gonna become Cheetah, and the way they frame it is fascinating, where Kale's like, yeah, she abandoned you, Wonder Woman. See, you thought she was your friend, but she's not, and now I'm gonna have like a whole month to turn you. They also do a pretty solid job bringing back Hades and Persephone, which I forgot the whole rigmarole chicanery of how Wonder Woman and her mother got out of that deal with Hades because she had one of, you know, Persephone's magic pomegranate seeds, like from the Greek myth. So, like, Wonder Woman could leave, but she'd have to spend a month in Hades, you know, every year, and how she used that to her advantage to get out of Area 51 and get away from Kale. That was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool choice, actually, and, you know, good use of continuity, you know, good use of bringing that back. I was genuinely pleasantly shocked by that one, and the horrible realization that Wonder Woman is going to be trapped there for a month, and in that time she has no idea what the hell is going to happen to Kale, no idea what the hell is going to happen to her friends and the world as a whole. So, you know,
Nice.
And, you know, when it rains, it pours.
I'm behind by like one issue. I've got like I'm doing some like catch up on all of the Absolute books at the moment, and Wonder Woman's I'm on top of my list. But it's been great. I haven't read this issue yet, but yeah, this whole like witch story has been so fucking cool.
It's a little downbeat. It's a little slower, this one, but that's not to say it's bad.
No.
It's building to something very interesting, to where I'm like, oh shit, in that next issue, I would not be shocked if it was a whole Barbara and Minerva issue, or if it ends with us straight up just getting the Cheetah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to end up with the Cheetah.
Yeah, that's my theory. What did you have this week, Matt? What do you want to talk about?
I had Superman issue 38.
I had this too, and holy shit, this one came out fucking swinging, didn't it?
It fucking did, yeah. So Prime gets accosted by Witchfire, who's the witch we saw in the last issue, who needs someone innocent and pure for her magical coven, and it's made out to be sinister. Like, we and Prime all think that she's doing something evil because she needs a pure soul, so he's going to sacrifice them. But we learn it's not. We learn that she's still a good guy.
Yeah.
She's
love that swerve.
She's still a hero, and she's planning on sacrificing this person to stop someone bringing demons into Metropolis, and we don't learn who that is until near the end of the issue. But that's the entire crux of this issue. They've got to team up to stop this demon infestation in Metropolis.
How great is it too that even though Witchfire is an obscure character, an ultra nerd like Prime is like, hey, I remember you.
Yeah, you're part of the power company. Are you still part of the power company?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, lady, you thought I was a pure soul for sacrificing? Geez, you need to pick up some back issues. And they show a bunch of panels from Infinite Crisis and all the people he killed.
Yes, which becomes a bit relevant near the end of the issue.
Boy, does it. I could tell a lot of people took that panel out of context when they're like, look, see, he's not even sad about what he did. Why are they trying so hard to redeem him? He said it wasn't his fault. And I'm like, guys, did you not read the last page? I feel like you all didn't read the last page. That was all very important. And also, again, part of his growth, that he still has things to learn.
I've been struggling with people like that who they don't want him to have that growth. They want him to be Superboy Prime from Infinite Crisis, where he's just killing people left and right. He's, big action guy, punching everything. They don't want him to actually learn something and become Superman.
Now, that's funny, because I've actually seen people making the same complaints, but for a completely opposite reason. They're like, nope, he's too toxic, and, in attempting to redeem him, they're this is a bad thing from Joshua Williamson, and I'm just like, guys, you know he's fictional, right?
He's not a real character, real. Yeah.
He not only is he not real, but then that also caused me to go in my own head where I'm like, yeah, he's not real, but in the universe of the book, he comes from our world, basically. Yeah. So he's technically more real. And when he was killing people, he's like, well, to me, they were fictional characters. But, you're killing them in their world. So does that make you better or worse? Because, their actions are being directed by a writer. It was a writer who made them do those things. You didn't. You did that of your own free will. Does that make you better or worse? So I just started fucking spiraling thinking about this.
It does mess with your head a little bit, doesn't it?
It really does, and because Joshua Williamson is smart, I'm sure he will bring it up. What's the over-under that Joshua Williamson will show up in this by the end?
I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for that, or I've been waiting for Prime to actually talk directly to him through the panel.
There's a 90% chance it's gonna pull an Animal Man, and when it happens, he's gonna call it that. I'm like, oh, are we doing an Animal Man right now?
Yeah.
That's gonna... I mean, they basically already did, because by the end of the book, he ends up falling into, Dan Mora's, ash can pages.
I fucking love that. I love that how he's got, the post-it note on the corner that basically details everything Dan Mora's got coming out, so you can go check that out. It's so fucking cool.
Amazing. So fucking cool. But yeah, they Witchfire and Prime, really interesting back and forth, because she's like, yeah, I died a bunch, and I never thought I'd meet anyone who could possibly understand, and Prime's like, oh, I understand pretty fucking well, actually.
Yeah, I have come back to life multiple times. I know the universe has been rewritten. I know what you're going through.
We get an amazing scene with Jimmy in the Goth Club, because of course Jimmy Olsen frequents the Goth Club.
Yeah, and I like how he kind of recognizes Prime, but also doesn't. So he's like, "Hey, who's that?"
You look familiar. Do I know you? No, I get that all the time.
Yeah, pal.
Yeah. By far the best thing, though, and I think this is actually one of the best indicators of how much Williamson is trying hard to redeem Prime as a character and show different angles on him, because he's getting really chummy with Witchfire, and it's like, hey, wasn't he dating a girl named Lori
Lemon,
in his own universe? What? Yeah, and he opens up in this thing that's like, yeah, we were our everything, and then she went off to college, and I didn't, and, we kind of drifted apart, but I still consider her one of my dearest friends, and I write her every month, and I'm like, wow, that is really sweet on one hand, and on the other hand, good job to subvert expectations there, Williamson, because a guy like Prime, who is supposed to represent all the worst instincts of geek culture, the fact that he is not a weirdo dick about women, I think is really special.
It shows growth, because I said this in my review. It shows that he is realized the error of his ways. He's not like that jealous, possessive guy we saw back when he first was introduced. He's grown, and he's capable, and this is the end point of that, where he's had a good relationship with the women in his life and can see them as equals, as friends, and not just things he must own or something like that. A lot of these fucking manosphere weirdos think.
Yep. And a lot of some of the worst parts of, the comic book fandom. Need we bring up the Mary Jane shit again? And I'm sure Williamson had a big smile on his face when he wrote that, where it's like, look, if Superboy Prime can get it, you can get it too, guys. And yeah, we find out that it's not just any old demon they're summoning here. It's actually Blaze and Satanis,
Yes.
two of the biggest baddest.
Yes, the brother and sister duo who aren't happy that Neron is running hell, which is something Williamson has also been setting up in Superman as well.
Sure did.
And they decide, well, we're going to move shop to Metropolis because Metropolis now doesn't have a Superman, so it's kind of unguarded, so we can just set up shop here.
I love that every villain we've seen so far has had the exact same plan. Superman is gone, so we can move on Metropolis. Ah, fuck, there's another Superman here. Shit.
And he doesn't mind beating us to a pulp either.
And because they're demons, he can be really mean with us.
Yeah, he can let loose a little bit.
He does. And oh man, Witchfire has her own, like, golden phoenix form. That's new and really cool.
I really like that it's Witchfire and her coven that beat the villains, while Superboy Prime is left to deal with the demons. It's using him to his strengths, which is just let loose on something and he'll just destroy it, while they go and deal with the smart thing and do the spell and everything. I thought that was quite cool.
Indeed. And this is also a story at its heart about how Prime has a hard time making friends and how he would like some friends his own age. And he got that by the end.
Yeah, they even opened the issue with that where he's like, maybe I should have asked the guys at work out for like a beer or something. He's like, I don't have time for that. I'm Superman. There's that great line as well. It's like the first line of the book where he talks about, he's telling like a guy from the comic book shop to actually read the comic and not the solicit copy, because the solicit copy is just sales tactics. And I'm like, man, Comic Twitter should listen to this. Comic Twitter should listen to this.
Beautiful. I love that too. I'm just like, Prime, you beautiful bastard. Joshua Williamson, I love that you are using this character to just voice all your problems with the fan community, but you're doing it in such a subtle way that they clearly don't know you're talking about them.
Yeah.
So great. So great. Next, he's going to be like, hey guys, and don't, harass writers on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's going to be a thing. No, you harass them in person.
Which would be a great growth for him, because remember when we first meet Prime, what's he doing? He's fucking harassing a writer on a fucking forum.
Yes, he is. Oh man, he needs to find that writer and apologize. He needs to go to a comic convention, find that guy and be like, hey, sorry about that. I was being a huge dick, actually.
I want to say it was like Kurt Busiek or something, or maybe Mark Waid or something. I think it was one of them guys.
Hey, does Kirk Busiek exist within the world of DC? I'm sure he does. That would be funny. And look, I say that as someone who Kirk Busiek yelled at on Twitter as well, that, he should apologize. I would also like to apologize to Kirk Busiek if I get the chance. I don't know if you saw it, but that stupid X-Men tweet I made the fucking rounds on X this week. It was getting like thousands of replies, and I wasn't even like CC'd into it. And I even said to the guy, I'm like, this is gonna follow me to my fucking death, isn't it? It really fucking is. And I had to tell people, I'm like, guys, I'm glad you think I'm funny. I'm glad you think I'm cool and everything. But Kirk Busiek, the creator of the fucking Thunderbolts and some of the best Marvel stories of all time, yelled at me about this. And I'd prefer that guy to not be mad at me, please. But yeah, it's really good stuff. And the best stuff is for last. What happens at the end, Matt? How does this all tie up?
So Prime just begins talking like gibberish, and no one knows what's happening, and he's literally pulled out of the page, pulled through the house ad for Father of Tomorrow, which was in the back of the actual issue, and then into, like we said before, the like ashcan sketch pages of Dan Mora, where he's confronted by Manchester Black, who's finally got his like proper form back. He's still a little bit ghost zombified, and we kind of learn a little bit about why he's doing this, and it's kind of like what I thought, where he's like, oh well, this is Superman, he can corrupt maybe, and he wants to kind of take it out because he feels again slighted by Superman because of the events of Warworld Saga, and then what Lex did to him at the end of that, which was like fuck with his mind and memory.
Good use of continuity, and I love it where it's like, yeah, the reason you've been malfunctioning this whole time is because I've been going through your brain as a psychic ghost, and because of that, I now know the true nature of the universe. I know we're just comic characters now, and I'm actually super pissed off at the idea of redemption. That's for losers. I'm not going to do that, and because you're not going to work for me, I'm going to punish you by sending you back to Infinite Crisis and making you literally confront these ghosts from your past.
Yeah, literally everyone from Infinite Crisis confronts him there at the end. That's pretty cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh my god, what are they going to do in the next issue?
Yeah.
Is this going to be the whole issue? Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, because I wonder if they're going to bring back, because they keep making a point where, because also Manchester wants to use Prime's ability to literally punch reality to make reality something better, to make it what he thinks it should be. And Prime mentioned, and he mentioned it before, where he can't do that now because it's too dangerous, because the whole timeline thing is like kind of messed up at the moment thanks to DCKO. So is that gonna end with him doing that and further messing up the timeline?
How beautifully fitting is it that a guy like Manchester Black, who existed as like, Superman's not realistic in our modern age anymore. We need the elite. We need something, darker and, more decisive. Reads Superboy's Prime's mind, sees the world he comes from, aka our world, and says, no, that's what we need to be.
Yeah, we need to be more realistic.
What a great use of that character, and what a great use of Prime.
So good.
It's also great, too, because it's literally everything Mr. Terrific was scared about came to pass in, 2 seconds. What if a villain reads his mind and learns what's actually going on? How fucked would we all be?
Yeah, it's exactly... Which makes me think, I wonder if, the Justice League will get involved then. Yeah, they realize... they've been monitoring him or something.
Yeah, they really should. Yeah. But yeah, good stuff from top to bottom. Great looking book, tons of fun, very funny.
Yeah.
I guess on the Marvel side of things, I read Ultimates 24 this week, which is actually the finale of this one. This is the last Dennis Camp Ultimate. It's the
finale, but it also feels like it's part 3 of a 6-part issue series. Yeah.
It is. I will say, to their credit, though, I think Dennis Camp did a really good job bookending this, where it's look, gray-skinned Hulk was their biggest villain. He was the one who almost killed them on their first outing. Yeah, he gets to be the last one. Yeah. He gets to be the last one they fight. Hey, they actually call him Bruce Banner in this. I know you and I kicked around the theory forever because they refused to say his first name. We're like, is that Brian Banner? No, it was actually Bruce.
Yeah, it's Banner, yeah. Yeah, no, I do like that, they bookended it with, his story and, She-Hulk, because She-Hulk was, their first, interaction with a character outside of their little network. And
first new character.
Yeah, so to have her come back. I'm glad that she came back, because I was assured... when she appeared last, where it was setting up her going to Monster Island, I'd be like, oh, well, that's the last we're going to see of her. Because that was probably meant to be another arc of the book, and because the universe has come to an end, we're not getting that.
Yeah, to this book's credit, there's way more paying off than I thought it was. They pay off She-Hulk and Monster Island. They pay off Danny Rand and Shang-Chi climbing the mountain of heaven. I'm like, oh my god, they actually paid that off.
Well, that story, they pay off Shang-Chi. Fucking Danny Rand did fuck all. He pulled a lever.
Hey, he got his traditional costume and he pulled a lever. A very important lever.
That's all he fucking did.
Hey, look... Hey, he was a regular-ass dude who got to hang out with basically Kung Fu Dalai Lama, and he climbed the ladder to heaven. I mean, that's actually pretty baller. No, we didn't learn anything about him, but, dude, for being, a regular guy who was a political prisoner last week, that's actually pretty sick. And, I love what they do with She-Hulk in this, too, where it's she's actually gotten so much powerful since the last time we saw her. She can absorb radiation from the ground itself, and because Monster Island was a gamma bomb test site, she's basically the savage She-Hulk now.
It plays well in with her story as well, about how there's that whole sort of, younger generation fighting the older generation, older entrenched generation, and how they only care about, what they can possess and own, whereas She-Hulk is all about the land and actually being part of the community and people, and that's what fuels her, because the whole thing about the issue is all about what is strength, and strength is more than just something that's a physical trait. It's strength is hope and love and stuff we see throughout this issue, with especially Wasp and Ant-Man.
That was wonderful. Yeah. I had totally forgotten that. I'm like, oh yeah, she was a triple agent, and it looked like they were going to break up, only for Scott to be like, no, I still love you anyway, and I want us to work through this.
Yeah.
Really nice touch there. Also, too, yeah, the whole like speech about what is strength that permeates the whole issue. It's wonderful, and it's so beautifully Dennis Camp because he gives the traditional comic answer of like, yeah, real strength is community, it's love, it's da 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 da. And then at the very end, Savage She-Hulk keeps like tearing into Hulk, and then Dennis Camp totally changes gears, and he's like, maybe we actually put too much thought into strength. Maybe strength is just a means to an end, a road to freedom. Maybe we should stop thinking about it like we do.
Yeah.
Very, very revolutionary thought where it's like, strength for strength's sake is actually bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's probably wrong we put so much thought into it. Beautiful. And yeah, that's how that one ends. And I'm like, man, I really had to think about it. I'm like, is this ending better than Ultimate Spider-Man? Is it? I don't know. How do you feel?
The thing is, it's not truly an ending because the story continues over in Ultimate Endgame, and then there's that one issue after Ultimate Endgame, and so it's like part 3 in a 5-part story.
I'm trying to think there. I'm like, look, if I just picked this up in trade and only read Ultimates, would this be a better, more complete ending?
I don't know, because even then the book ends with them being like, we need you all to come and help fight the Maker, and then it just ends.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that could be it, and without the end, they all went off and fought the Maker. I guess you could say that, but yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. I truly wonder, how will these books be perceived many years from now when it's all said and done and, collected in trade.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked this one. I had a fun time with it.
It was pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, I think it hit all the notes it needed to hit, and I enjoyed the, book ending symmetricalness of it all. And honestly, kind of bummed that we might lose this She-Hulk now. I'm like, oh, she was really fucking cool.
She was great.
I would have liked to see more Pacific Islander She-Hulk.
Yeah, she was great.
Hell, likewise, non-binary native Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Would have also liked to have seen more of them because they were, like, new and original to this universe. And it felt like, damn, this should have kept going and we should have gotten more of that where because of the origin boxes, new people could become classic heroes.
Yeah, and we got that, like, one shot with them and then they really didn't do anything with them. It's just nothing.
No, they didn't. They brought in Clint Barton so they could kill off Clint Barton so people could stop asking about Clint Barton. And then Hawkeye became like a weird assassin guild member thing. Yeah. Oh, fucking it. Doesn't matter because they're not going to pay that off and they let the Black Eyed Peas guy write that. Yes, that was Taboo, everybody. Taboo writes comics sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes Taboo writes comics. Did you have anything else, Matt?
Yeah, I had Superman Father of Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, this is a new one. What was this one about?
This is an Elseworlds book written by Kenny Porter, and it's a Superman origin story, but Kal-El doesn't come to Earth. Jor-El crash lands on Earth.
And it feels like a classic what if.
Yeah, it's set up really well. He crash lands on Earth after crashing through a Stormwatch satellite. He crashes through the Stormwatch satellite and then lands in the Kent farm, and the Kents help him. They nurse him back to health, but instead of becoming their son or like someone they raise because he's already an adult, he ends up becoming Jonathan's brother. And they name him Jordan, and they call him Jordan Kent, and which I thought was really quite interesting because there's been loads of Jordans in the Kent family, recent years as well. But yeah, he becomes their brother, their sibling. He helps out around the farm. He uses his technology and mind to improve the farm. And make like new inventions and stuff that he can use around the farm. There's a really cool thing that Kenny does where he gives Jor-El like a prime directive from Star Trek, where it's like, oh, Krypton, the Science Council had a thing where like they cannot interfere with another culture's like development of technology. They can't just give them technology, right. But he kind of bends the rules a little bit where he's allowed to use it on the farm because he's the one using it, and like the Kents are
well.
There's a really cool thing where like the Kents are like, we don't know whether we should use this because like if we use this, we like our crop yields will be better, but like people down the road are doing it hard as well. Can we like give them the technology as well? And that's where like he can't do that. He can't show the world his powers or anything like that. And the whole inciting incident is Jonathan has a heart attack. He has the classic heart attack.
Classic Jonathan can't heart attack.
And Jor-El is unable to save him in time because he wants to develop, like, he's going to put him in a stasis tube and come up with a DNA repair kit and everything. But the doctors he takes Jonathan to a hospital just to help him get settled. But the doctors prevent him from doing anything because they think he's like a crazy guy, because he comes in saying all this, like, oh, we need to make the DNA replicator thing and like subdue him. And because they are able to subdue him long enough, Jonathan actually dies. And so we have that classic, with all the powers and technology, he was still unable to save Jonathan. And that becomes his... That's a bummer. There's a great part with Martha Kent as well, where she talks about how, like, maybe this was just Jonathan's time. And, this is something like we cannot get around, even like with all these powers and technology. Death is something that is a certain in life, and it's something we have to accept. And Jor-El was like, nah, I'm not going to accept that.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, I'm going to use my powers now to help Earth. And, maybe because Krypton is destroyed, these old Krypton rules have to die with it. So I'm going to give the world my technology. And all while this has been happening in the background, we see Sam Lane. He misses his daughter Lois's birth because of Jor-El's rocket landing. He gets alerted to it, and so he misses the birth. And then when time catches up with him, he's developed Metallo because he knows there's something alien on Earth. His people were unable to find Jor-El's rocket, but he knows there's an alien threat out there. So Metallo is part of Stormwatch, and the whole deal is Stormwatch is there to protect against alien threats and everything. And Metallo isn't really Metallo. It's not John Corbin. It's just a robot. And because kryptonite doesn't exist in this world yet, it's just like a big robot. And he activates it, and it goes fucking ballistic, like immediately, because it senses the alien like presence on Earth. It senses Jor-El, but it can't pinpoint it. So it just begins randomly killing people to try and like figure out who it is.
Like they do.
And Jor-El turns up. He's got a really cool fucking costume where it's like a white Superman costume, but like the cape looks like a lab coat because he's like a scientist.
Yes, I've seen that. And yes, it does look good.
Yeah, and he's got a big beard as well and everything. He saves little Lois Lane in a move that mirrors how Superman saved her in the Superman movie from the helicopter, where it's I hope that this doesn't put you off flying in this. In this, it's like, I hope it doesn't put you off studying robotics or anything, because robots can be good friends. And he ends up... it's cool because he has powers and everything, but he also uses inventions to take down Metallo. He uses this like cool anti-gravity electronic glove thing to keep Metallo attached to him so he can limit the collateral damage to the city. And so he can like deal with Metallo without causing too much damage. And all throughout the city, because the timeline has shifted, everyone's different. So like Perry White is a young reporter reporting on the news, and he's like covering the story. He's the one who coins the name the Superman this time round. Lex Luthor is a young boy who witnesses Jor-El and the attack, and he's like, I want to be like that when I grow up. And his father Lionel is around and just like being like, how's this going to affect LexCorp's bottom dollar and all that sort of stuff.
That sounds about right.
And yeah, it ends with Jor-El defeating Metallo, and there's kind of like an ominous tone to what he says, where he's going to change the world for the better. But the way it's like said and framed, it feels like he's going to change the world, but it's going to lead to him becoming like a despotic ruler, isn't it? Like he thinks he knows what's best for humanity or something, and it's going to bring him into blows with other people. I know Batman's going to be in this series at some point, and I'm intrigued to see how that works, like who the Batman is.
Is it going to be Thomas Wayne?
Everyone seems to assume that, but like that's too obvious. That feels too obvious.
Is this the dad verse now, where just all the dads are important?
I reckon it's going to have something to do with Lex Luthor, because we know he was on the front cover of the first issue grown up, and he's bald and everything. What if like Lex is like Batman or something?
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
I like that.
But I also like the hint that like, he's going to use this technology to save the world. Well, does that make him like? Is he going to use it to like make a company and become like a billionaire? And like that's going to put him at odds with LexCorp and maybe like the Waynes or something.
He's going to make an app.
Yeah, an app that saves everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to design an app with me? No.
No, we don't need to do that.
That actually sounds good. That sounds like a classic DC what if is what that sounds
Yeah,
like.
I can't remember the last time we had like, oh, what if Jor-El was Superman? I don't think we've ever had one.
Been a bit.
Yeah, I know like he's been on Earth before. Smallville did a couple of episodes where Jor-El was on Earth in the 50s.
Mr. Oz.
Yeah, Mr. Oz, yeah.
Feels like with that new Supergirl movie coming out, they're interested in these different kind of takes on some of these characters. We're getting that Supergirl lone wolf and cub thing where it's her and baby Superman.
Yeah, that comes out this coming week, I think.
Ah, yes. Feels like there's something in the water, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right. Now, speaking of new comics, we want to talk about what's coming out this week before we close out.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, we got Batman, issue number 10, Absolute Green Lantern 15, Amazing Spider-Man 30. I actually surprisingly liked that last issue of Spider-Man because Spider-Man is doing the thing we've been saying forever. He's actually trying to improve his life in meaningful ways. He goes to Daredevil and asks him to train him. He asks some of his scientist friends to upgrade his gear. It's shocking.
Nice.
It really is.
Nice.
What else do we got going on here? We got Cyclops 5, Iron Man 6, Mark Spector Moon Knight 5. Actually looks to be a pretty light week. JSA 20. What else do we got? Oh, Adventures of Superman, Book of L9. Supergirl Survive #1. Yep, that was the one you were talking about.
Yep.
What If Uncanny X-Men. Yeah, I guess Marvel's doing brand new What Ifs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got them going on. Some of them look fairly interesting. And yeah, that's kind of all the big books this week. Oh, right, of course, because June is Pride. We got Justice League Dream Girls, a DC Pride event, #1. Now, this is interesting because instead of just coming out with one big, huge anthology series, this is like a multi-part thing that's coming out this month. And
this is what was spinning out of that intergalactic thing, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And I wonder where it's like, wait, is this just going to be one of those big anthologies, but you just cut it up, or is this going to actually be like a Dreamer Galaxy-centric thing? I wonder.
Yeah, because we said when we talked about that intergalactic book, it's like, is this going to like actually have ramifications like that book seemed to imply it was going to have? Like, is other books going to reference that? Because a lot of the stuff that happens in those Pride books never gets really brought into like other books or anything.
No, and a lot of it is great. In fact, I think they reprinted the one from last year under a new name. And I'm like, they created a new Red Lantern in that. They created like a new Golden Age Red Lantern in that. I wanted to see that guy again because that guy was dope. And like the Red Flame is a great concept.
Yeah, I know the Alan Scott Green Lantern book dealt with that, but then, it just kind of went away.
Just went away.
Yeah.
Because it's not June, and when it's not a particular month, DC forgets you exist.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. All right, everyone. I guess we'll start winding down the show for this week. Again, thank you so much for coming out and enjoying it. As always, you can find this here on Matt's channel, but the best way to see it, if you can't make it live Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. Really helps keep the lights on, really helps keep things going. What else do we got going on? I don't think we're going to be here next week because I might have a convention trip next week, so sorry for the delay in that. But you can find us everywhere great podcasts are found, and then we'll be back again, kicking things off, like we've missed no time at all.
Yeah, that'll be cool to see after the convention. We'll talk about the convention, what's going on in there.
Yeah, I hope I can make it. It's still kind of on the bubble right now. They literally wrote me like a week before, and I'm like, this is going to be tight, guys. I don't know. So we'll see how that goes, barring any huge disasters. Again, I miss going to conventions. I miss getting invited. So hopefully I'll be able to make that one work. And if not, fuck it, then I got a week off, I guess, and some more money in my wallet. We'll see.
Nice.
But all right, everyone. Anything else, Matt? Any parting words? Anything you want people to go check out?
No, I'm probably going to be streaming a bit more. I've been playing that new James Bond game on stream, and people seem to be liking that. So
that looks good.
So I'll be probably streaming a little bit later on tonight or tomorrow morning for you guys, but tonight for me. And just keep an eye out for some reviews and stuff from me and Joel. And
Yeah, all right, everyone. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out. We will be back again, not next week, but the week after, same time, same place. So until then, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.